Day 15, I'm on the home stretch, last 7 days of my first 21-day on cycle with Ivor and Finbin and the 14 different chemicals and compounds that I'm taking to supplement and support the body in the purging process. And this amazing switch like flipped over just this morning when I woke up, because of course the past 3 days it's just been really draining, like energy draining. I still got things done. I still was productive, but it was just I could tell the body was purging things, getting rid of stuff. Not to mention there's been more exiting than normal without going into any more detail on that side of it. But yeah, this amazing switch flip today. And again, I'm experiencing like really clear skin. In the next couple of days, I'm going to go ahead and have to take this. It's like 8 different links. There's choppy spots, there's patches, it's continuing to fall out. So that is the only downside of this, but I mean, it's hair, it's going to regrow. And the way I think of it is this has been there through some of the process, the kiln, the moments that have led me to where I am now, and all the growth that I'm finding for myself. So I'm going to have fun with it. In the next 7 days, I'm going to go ahead and take it myself before it completely falls out into a super patchy, weird, like, hey, I'm the weird long hair on the sides, 5 strings of hair comb over guy. I don't want to be that dude. So I'm just going to take it myself and on the new moon do some sort of like Viking burial and probably burn it and picture that being refreshed. And I mean, in that way anyways, that is alchemy itself, is taking something, transferring it. Doesn't actually destroy the hair, it's just transferring it into smoke, allowing it to become something else. So I digress. One of the things that I have really been focusing on the past 3 days when I was super tired, just exhausted, was gratitude. And not just gratitude, but gratitude in the way of abundance. And sometimes we get caught up, and I know I do. If this is you, let me know as well. But sometimes I get so caught up on abundance being attached to the financial side of my life. And we all kind of get stuck in that. I know I do. Like I said, I've gotten stuck in that several times. And I have to back myself up and remind myself that abundance comes in many forms. In fact, when you take it back down to the basics and the foundations, I mean, everything I'm learning in neuroscience and the medical sciences is just mind-numbing. If you have trouble in these, days when I was drained, sometimes it can be a struggle to think of something positive when you're just tired and want to sleep, but you have 50 million things to get done. So in those moments, I like to think of how abundant I am inside of my body, inside of this thing I chose to drive, which I lovingly call a meat suit, but an avatar, right? This avatar that we're driving, there is so much abundance built into you. It is your innate nature to be abundant. And by that, what I mean is, think of the neurons, the nerve cells in your body. You have 90 to 100 billion of those, 86 billion-ish just in your brain. And then when you look at glial cells, which are the supporting cells to the neurons, you can think of the neurons as the communicative cells. And then the glial cells are their partners, right? Support and modulation and adaptation, and also the immune system for your nervous system. And you have 86 to about 100 billion of those. When you look at total cell count, you're looking at around 30 to 37 trillion cells inside of your body. And I mean, I could go through the list of all the cells that are inside of your body, but just looking at that, there's no way that you aren't abundant. So in those moments, if that helps you out, and I hope it does, because it helps me in those moments, like I said, where I might struggle in that moment to feel as if I'm abundant, because either I'm challenged on the financial side of things, just being an entrepreneur, you're investing in your business, you're growing, you're scaling, all of these things, growth can be uncomfortable. There's also the other side of abundance, as I mentioned, thinking about everything that I have, clothing, shoes, simplistic things that we all take for granted constantly. And then the easiest thing for me is, of course, to bring it back to when I'm so tired, I can't think of any of those things. I remind myself how abundant I am inside of my body, cellular structure, the nerve cells, the other cells that are creating, and mitosis going on, and cell division, and constant replication. You are innately, and by your birthright, a creator. You are literally refreshing, recalibrating, and engineering yourself as you move through this experience. So I hope that helps you when you find those moments like I have, that it can be a struggle to find things to remind yourself of the abundance that you already have and that you already are. Think about those cells. 30 to 37 trillion total cells inside of your body, possibly even more when you think about the ways and combinations of proteins and cellular structures and compounds that your body can create. It's mind-numbing. So allow yourself to think in that way on those days, and just let yourself breathe through it, feel into it. The only way out is through. It really is. The only way out is in and through. So allow yourself to be where you are. Recognize you're not fucking broken. You are abundant beyond recognition. And the more you remind yourself of these basic foundational things that you are and that you always will be, you'll recognize just how special you are and how you are a part of the whole. There is no separation. Energy, frequency, and vibration is moving through absolutely everything. You are a part of all of that. And inside of you, as we've talked about, you have an entire universe, an entire creative field that's happening on a daily basis, on a minute scale, second to second to second. So you're amazing, you're abundant, you're not broken, and you are doing everything right. There's no way for you to make a wrong decision. That's the other thing I wanted to remind you of, is it all comes out in the wash. There is an infinite amount of information around every decision. So the easiest way to feel your way into anything is to always lead with your heart. Heart has its own heart brain. It is the main brain, the boss of the whole show. So the more you feed into this, the more you remind yourself of the foundational basics of the abundance that you are and will always be, everything else will just handle itself. And you allow yourself to regulate your nervous system and be right where you should be. And then, of course, you might experience the same thing I did today, where you just wake up and everything just flows right now. It's like thought to action to result. There's no struggle, there's no strain, there's no effort that I'm having to put into today. So I'm just going to flow with it and continue to move. And I hope you have the most amazing day. Make it an amazing life, warriors.